Hello and welcome to part 2 of Salvage Union. Join us as we continue the adventure with Panayiotis running the show.
So it's a new round, so anyone who's not... one of you, give me a d20 roll for the initiative.
15.
Cool, that means one of you goes first, anyone of your choice. And at the moment, so we've got the Hussar on the ridge looking down at the highway, ready to do a hit and run. We've got the Fresher and Mazona in the highway itself, and they're both attacking the poor mule in the middle of this trader. And all of you are up on the ridge line near Scrapper's Bluff, looking down on the highway.
Well, I had an idea that because this was the Thresher's the one with the chainsaw. Right, the chainsaw boy is currently stuck. And I was thinking, I've got this articulated rigging arm here. Now its use is for salvaging. However, given the chainsaw is stuck, I'm thinking we can use it in combat. I can get into close range and just tear that chainsaw right off that mech.
Yeah, absolutely.
Doable?
I'd ask for a D20 roll, but if you succeed, you'll do it.
Excellent. Let's go ripping parts off of mechs.
Rip and tear.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it.
12.
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Success! So you launch yourself down there and you rip that chainsaw arm off. I'm going to say it does a little bit of damage as well, a couple of points of damage, because it's probably going to do damage ripping an arm off. And what does that look like?
Ah, yeah. The brawler just barrels down this hill into the highway. He's going way, way faster than anyone expected him to. And he rocks up aside this chainsaw wielding mech. His articulated arms spinning, ready to go as it just clamps down onto it. There's some whirring, some sparks fly, and he just rips that chainsaw arm straight off the mech, leaving a big hole in the side of it.
Nice. Yeah, so you see this huge hole, the cockpit of the Fresher almost exposed as there's just wiring and bits of shards of metal as you rip off its arm. And at that point, the Mazona, which has been zooming up and down, the blinded one, does nothing actually because it's blind. So the Fresher itself just shoots like a hail of lasers back at your brawler mech to try and defend itself. It does hit, and you take 3 points of damage from the red laser as it pierces through your mech's defences.
No problem, another couple of scratches. My structural integrity is holding.
So we've got Mechwombo and the Fresher in a duel in the centre here. This Mazona is flying around blinded. The mule actually will just try to help. The machine gun will fire into the Fresher. God, not helping today. The machine gun jams, and he's on fire as well, so he takes another point of damage. And you hear Mercury from the comms like, "God damn, this machine gun, this piece of shit, got it from a bunch of traders." Got it from Wish Market. Yeah, delivered by drone. I mean, probably in this world that weirdly makes sense. But he like, ordered it on the CorpoNet, and it's just a hunk of shit. Then it's back to you, team. Anyone who's not acted can act.
Okay, I think inspired by the brawlers' shenanigans, Flea is going to pilot the jackhammer over to the big bastard with no comms and is going to attempt to slam the heavy mining rig down on it.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, rip and tear.
Rip and tear.
Rip and tear. Yeah, so Twitch, you
Rip that ass open.
Not Twitch. Flea, you you bound down and give me an attack roll.
You just hear hillbilly screams of delight. 16?
Hit. It's a direct hit against the Fresher, and
6 damage.
6 damage. Yeah. The Fresher's pretty tough, but it's still reeling back as your jackhammer's huge mining rig tears through it. the Thresher has 7 structure points remaining, as it finds itself in the midst of this chaos, and your jackhammer's getting stuck in. Nicely done. In response, the Hussar, ever the sort of fast and agile mech of their team, even with its broken evasion module, bounds down upon you and fires its red pulse laser out. It's still quite single-mindedly going for the brawler. But misses quite catastrophically. So these, so I'm going to say with all these overheat attempts, I'm going to say that is so that's the Hussar fires its red pulse laser, but clearly with your reactor overload earlier, you've fried a lot of its cooling protocols, and its reactor actually overheats and it shuts down temporarily in the middle of the highway. So it's now shut down and vulnerable because of that nat 1. So that means any attacks against it this round are going to deal double damage. It'll reactivate next turn, but for now it's in a spot. And then back to you, team.
He's vulnerable. Quick, get him.
Kick him in the balls.
I'm trying to wonder if it's worth going up to the Hussar and just, because I have a 50 cal.
Yeah, the soldier is shouting through the comms. So it's like,
Jack Black, fire up the gun.
You say you have a 50 cal, do you mean like on your boy?
Yeah, it's 50 cal machine gun.
I was picturing you just leaning out the window with a rifle, like, woohoo.
Desert Eagle just as a drive past. Sod it, let's take a risk. Could I get there and get back again after shooting it?
No. So on your turn you can move and then do an action, but you can't do both unless you have like a special ability. That's what makes the Hussar good, because it has an ability that lets it.
Fire up the cannon, Jack Black.
I'll go if someone backs me up on this, but sod it, why not? Let's go have some fun. Can I go and literally pilot this 4-legged Xbox of a mech and just unleash unholy fury with a 50 cal right in its face?
Absolutely. Give me an attack roll.
I will indeed. A d20. That's a 20.
Nice.
Hell yes.
This is that's very good, unsurprisingly. So this is where so doubling in this system is cumulative, so it would double twice at this point. So the 2 damage I think becomes 8.
Yeah.
Which means it's on 4 structure points as your machine gun just tears through it. You took a risk and it definitely paid off here. What does that look like?
I would like to say, you know what, maybe it isn't the machine gun. Maybe it is just holding a Desert Eagle.
just blasting huge chunks out of this Hussar. Yeah.
Wailing the window down.
Yeah.
Middle finger out the window.
Absolutely, you can fluff these things however you want, obviously. And so you're blasting with this Desert Eagle out of the window, just knocking just huge sort of lumps out of the Hussar, and you can see its reactor is like fuming, and just sparks are flying, and you can see the internals of its mech exposed as you just blast through it.
It's a shame it's shut down, because over the comms I'd be, I see inside of you.
You could probably shout it from that range.
There you go then. I think it loses some of the kind of creepiness if it's shouted across the thing.
Crying through the holes.
Just a bit back, I thought, oh, I can't hear you. Fuck it, never mind.
So you blast huge chunks out of a Hussar, and I think they're all either blind or wounded or have acted. So it's just your team still. So anyone who's not acted, which I think for now is Twitch.
Yeah. Is the other mule still on fire?
Yes.
Can I use my action to basically get our mule with the hose pipe to put it out?
We don't have that, do we?
Did you bring that along?
Yeah, I'm sure I said I've been bringing it along.
Oh, okay. You wanted to bring the whole mule along.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Presumably piloted by Sparrow.
Yeah.
Cool. Mule number 2. Sparrow was clearly waiting in hiding place the whole time with his mule, which has only just been repaired, so it will be on. Technically, it would be on 1 hit point unless you wanted to repair it further, as you did a relatively quick repair on it, which is why he's been hiding out for now. But yeah, he trundles down into the midst of this chaotic mech brawl on the highway and sprays his hose at the Mazona and at the mule, the victim of Mazona, and puts out the fire. You hear you hear Mercury crackle over the comms and go,
Oh, thank God one of you had a hose. Feeling a bit better now. Looks like we're beating these bastards back as well.
Job well done.
and yeah, Twitch. I mean, that's technically someone else's action, so you can still do a thing.
So who have we got left?
Kill the thing in front of me before it kills me.
Oh, come on. Is everyone's still alright for, like, SP? Like, health points? Coughing.
Well, I mean, Brawler's took the
That's
most
like-
damage, but he's in no way in danger
In shit.
yet, so...
Yeah, I'm just gonna help little Spectrum. And I can whack out my auto cannon.
Excellent, you got a gun on you.
Yes. Minimum range. SP 4 damage. What do I need?
Yeah, it's got 4 health left, so if you hit, you're gonna blow it up.
So 20. Hey.
Boom! So your auto cannon rakes over this already incredibly badly damaged hussar. What does destroying it look like?
I'm trying to think, like a few little buttons, like put like a little key from around my neck, yank it off, put it in, and like trying to turn the ignition. It won't start, so it's like rub it again against my chest, and it basically starts up at the, and it shakes like the whole my cockpit, but it just like fires
Nice.
like into the back of the machine.
Nice. So you fire it
thank you.
into the back of the hussar, and its core is ripped out, and it slumps, destroyed to the ground. And yeah, I think that's everyone active this round. And these guys are pretty badly beat up at this point, with half of their team down, and so I'm going to roll morale for them at the top of the round, and they're running away. Perhaps unsurprisingly at this point.
Oh, that boy with the chainsaw's not running away. I've got a hold of him.
Well, didn't you ripped his chainsaw out, didn't you?
But he's currently got a mining rig in him.
And he's got a mining rig in him, yeah. So running away basically is a bit more abstracted. So they're basically going to try and get out of the combat zone. You can basically pursue them and try and do things to stop them, or you can let them go.
How dark do we want to go?
Who's the one calling the retreat here? Because if Tex can't hear anyone else and he's focused on the brawler, would he actually notice the other two are down?
It's a panicked retreat at this point. It's he's badly wounded, Mazona's blind, and these two are down, and he'd probably have some inkling, and also he's heavily outnumbered.
I think we should let it go. We got somewhere to be, and at least with the Hussar, I don't think we're catching that fucking thing.
Kill. The hussar's dead.
Oh, the Sardar's dead. Sorry, I thought it was the other one that was dead.
Yeah, it's the Fresher and the Mazona running away.
I get the feeling that the Mazona is the only one that's actually going to be able to get away from us if we want to kill them. That Thresher's as good as dead if we want to...
You take the Thresher, we'll take the Mazona.
I mean, I'll finish off the Thresher, no problem.
Can I fire off at the Mazona then?
Well, I mean, do we have to do initiative for this round?
So in terms of retreating, if you want to explain to me how you want to try and stop them retreating, and then we can just see how that
Well,
works.
I think the
So
Thresher's
if you
probably
wanna-
an easy one to talk about there because I've already ripped apart all out of it, and
Yeah,
that,
you've ripped an arm and the jackhammer's
and the jackhammer's going into it, so it's trying to run away, and basically all the brawler's going to do is he's going to charge up his autocannon, He's going to just...
I feel like as he's trying to run, because the Thresher's so much bigger, the jackhammer's just getting like lightly dragged forward a couple feet every time.
Yeah.
I'm just going to close range pummel some shots into him with the autocannon.
Cool. Yeah. Give me a roll.
For fuck's sake, it's a 1.
Do you want to push that?
You know what? We've got a hose now, so yeah, let's push for it. Let's put the heat up. So that's the pushed roll. 18, excellent.
Nice. That's gonna
And
hit.
here's the heat roll. Heat roll 17, so that's fine.
Cool.
No problem there. We
Yes.
just fire a few rounds into him, and I've got the close range protocols. So additional 2 SP damage when attacked at close range.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So between the brawler and the jackhammer, you just the Thresher tries to retreat, and you just tear it apart as it flees and it collapses on the ground. I'm gonna make a roll. Yeah, and you see so it's just broken and destroyed on the ground, and you can see Tex crawling out of the wreckage of it. He's like just some dude on foot at this point. So if you want to blast him out, you can, or it's up to you. What do you want to do?
Can I, running over to shoot the personas, just step on him?
Yep.
That was coming.
And he's dead. Yeah.
Dun 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 dun
Yeah.
splat.
So he's completely splattered. I mean, you're going over to shoot this Mazona, is it?
You know what has happened actually? The soldier was climbing out the top of his mech. He was aiming a rifle down at the guy, and then he just sees a foot come into his blasting range and just squash the boy.
Does the Spectrum just kind of slip like it's on a banana peel?
That's what I was going to say, because it's a fail, can I just literally just go whoop?
Yeah. just murder. So I'll say, you crush Tex under boot, but your yeah, quite. But your machine gunner, indeed Desert Eagle, goes awry, and the Mazona is going to sort of get a chance to fly away to fight another day, I think, unless anyone wants to chase after it, basically through.
Well,
anyone got some long range attacks we can get it with as it's leaving?
I think I'm on a medium.
I think so long as it isn't our problem anymore, we don't have to really care.
Yeah, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, the Spectrum is on its back.
Help me, step soldier, I'm stuck.
I was going to help them.
The jackhammer's gonna hobble over and use his ringing arm to grab the Spectrum by the top of its little Xbox head and pull it up. Wee console with legs that it is.
Cool. So you right the poor Spectrum. It's chaos in the highway, but you do hear Mercury crackle through the comms, and he says,
Thank you so much, salvagers. Those raiders would have torn me apart out here. They've been picking us off left, right and centre. I didn't even want to make this run, but you know, a job's a job, and the corpos don't pay unless you get it done.
No problem, citizen. We're happy to help.
Alright, Judge Dredd.
Would you like to help pick out him off of my boot?
I think Flea at this point is going to have slipped out of his mech and started running over to salvage some of the destroyed.
yes. How long would it take for us to get
hell yeah.
to do some salvaging here, and what would we get from it?
so salvaging mechs is pretty quick. It basically would take 10 minutes per mech you want to salvage.
Easy.
And
I'm working on this one.
you roll a d20 and you basically get one thing from the mech. So you might be able to salvage its chassis, or you might be able to get a weapon from it.
Well, I've already got a chainsaw, so
Hold on. Can I use this Spectrum's data repository to scan them and try and find the best possible item from each one?
Hang on. What was the one with the big fucking gun? Like the really good one?
The Hussar.
I have an ability that lets me choose what I get from it. Can I take the gun?
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So you get a red pulse laser.
Yes.
Which,
Yes. All going together.
yeah.
See, it's scavenging my kill.
Yep. In theory, you could sort of hack into them to work out what's on them, but you also got to have a salvager with you who can just pick out choice parts.
True.
Yep. Yeah, the salvager I think doesn't even need to roll. So yeah. And then the red pulse laser, which I'll pop in the chat for you. You can mount on your mech if you want. But
Is there any?
Just gonna say, with my RGBs and your 2 lasers, we're pretty much close to having.
Is there
a
any
raid.
limit to me using the expert salvager ability? Because it doesn't seem to cost anything.
No, you're a salvager. So
Oh shit. Okay. Anyone?
Yeah.
Anyone got any choices they want? Anyone want a chainsaw off the big guy? Like.
Yeah. The only I guess minor negative is you can't. So if you roll on a nat 20, you get like an extra part, and so you forego that like small chance.
I'm fine with that. So anyone want to pick what they want off of the kills?
Can we put 2 arms on the spectrum?
Do they have arms?
What have we got here? The Mazonas, I think. Yeah, you've got a Thresher and a Mazona to salvage left. The Thresher would have like a rigging arm, if you really wanted a rigging arm.
Do you want an arm more than you want a chainsaw?
But yeah, the chassis of the Thresher is probably the most valuable part. It's worth 9 salvage. If you want just like a pure big chunk of salvage. Beyond that, it does have like a basic red laser, but that's not too exciting. It had a weapon link, but got destroyed. That was a good part, but it's gone. I think I'd say the most valuable thing on the Thresher is the salvage value itself, unless you wanted a flamethrower, but the Mazonas have flamethrowers too.
Alright, so I'll take the chassis from that, I guess.
Can I have a flamethrower?
Absolutely, go for it.
Yeah, the Mazonas have flamethrowers. If you want to take the remaining Mazona, you can take a flamethrower from that. And
Sure.
And if Wombo's happy with his mech, he's just going to go for a basic salvage.
Flower, do you want anything?
I'm trying to think. I might even take the other rigging thing. Might dual, might make it a bit easier.
Okay. Since we've got that mule here, are we taking them with us, or are we going to use them to take the rest of the scrap back?
Well, I think that other mule's going to need an escort, and I don't know if we should be bringing along outsiders on a Union raid, essentially.
Yeah, I imagine that the mule's going to want to get back to its settlement.
yeah. So that mule's on 1 health basically. You could heal it up if you wanted to take it with you, but they would probably be a bit wary of heading into Hope Falls.
Can I get it to cool me down?
Yep. So it does hose you down. What's your current heat?
3.
3. Yeah. So it would actually be able to. It uses the rest of its tank, but it would be able to reduce that to 0.
Fabulous.
Selfish bastard, mine was on 4. Oh well.
Yeah, it's effectively got 3 uses of that hose left. Each one reduces heat by 1. So if you wanted to split it a bit, you could. But
Yeah, I mean, I can give 2 to you, and I'll take 1, and that way we're both at 2.
Fair.
yeah, because it had 5. It did 1 initially, and then it did 1 to cool down the mule, and then 3 left. Cool. So yeah, it hoses you down. In terms of salvage, it feels like you've got a rigging arm, a flamethrower, the pulse laser, and the Thresher chassis itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I was saying is, can we get the rest of it taken back with the other mule, so we don't have to drag it around with us?
Yeah. What do you want to give to the mule out of those things?
No, we're good. We're not going any. The rest of it's just unsalvageable, Matt. We get what we get.
Well, it says it's 9 salvage, right?
The Thresher is 9 salvage.
Yeah.
You want to hug that around with us, or do you want to put it on
That's
the mule,
not
send it
heavy
back?
for me. I don't
Yeah, 9
think.
salvage isn't bad at all. That's going to be... That's
Really?
that's going to... I mean, how much more are we looking for the...
5.
Only 5 on one.
Oh, it's low tech salvage, so it's 9
Ah.
tech 1 salvage, which is it basically trades evenly. So it's effectively 3 tech 3 salvage. So it's 3 out of that minimum 5. You're looking
Aye.
for.
That's pretty good, yeah. I'll keep the 9 low-tech salvage.
Would I see where my inventory slots are for this, if there are any?
So it'd be your cargo slots, which are should be the second sheet.
Cargo
and
cap
you-
is 6.
Yeah, I've got 20.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah, you have it.
Oh, no, wait, hold on a second.
I've got
You're just going to drag around a corpse for the rest
Yes,
of the game.
that was it's 20 boxes there, but it's actually... It says cargo cap, is that what I'm looking for?
Yeah.
Your cargo cap is
Yeah.
In theory you
Mine
have
to
6
6 as well.
but you can split it up, so you can just break it down into scrap and split it up.
Okay.
And each scrap will take up
So
one
I'm saying,
slot.
if we stick it on the mule that's going back to Scrapper's Bluff, we could pick it up on
Yeah,
the way
I
back.
thought I had more than I did, so yeah, the mule's probably a good idea.
I don't think we're going to need to use... Like, everyone has 6, so that's 24.
Yeah, but we don't know what we're going to
Yeah,
pick
we
up
need to have a
later
slot for
on.
the reactor as well.
If you trust that they won't just use the scrap we're giving them, sure. Because mind, they're not affiliated with us.
Can we trust them?
You've
mean-
made friends with them, but
Enough for them to be like, hey, we are in desperate need of materials, but nah, we'll keep this for you.
Yeah, I
back.
mean, I'm quite happy to maybe share the scrap with them, but we will be expecting some of that scrap when we get back.
Alright, sure.
yeah, I mean you're effectively on a mission for them to. Well, you've agreed to help them get that reactor. That's the main thing they want.
Yeah.
And that's kind of unique, so the generic scrap won't really help them there. And
Alright.
I don't think they're going to rob from you or anything like that. Though they might want a bit of the
Yeah,
scrap.
McWomble made firm friends with Artemis.
And Twitch kind of like fixed the shit.
Cool. So, are you loading up the the mule with the scrap, sending it back to Scrapper's Bluff to stay safe, and then heading onwards?
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
And then you're keeping the rest of the stuff for now. Are you mounting the red pulse laser or the flamethrower on your mechs?
Hell yeah, if I can have a space for it.
Yeah, you're getting the flamethrower, right? Is the red pulse laser significantly different from the green one?
Yeah, so the red pulse laser is close ranged, but it does 5 damage instead of 4, and it does less heat, so it's only 1 heat.
Okay, I'll take that then.
But it takes up 5 slots instead of 4, I think.
Hold on, let's
So
see.
you
Cargo?
have to swap it out.
What slots does it take up?
It takes up 5 slots. So the slots is the thing, the triangle symbol.
System slots,
Sure,
7.
but is that cargo slots or module slots or system,
System slots.
I have 15, so...
You have 15, but your mech will be filled up with stuff already. So you'd have to rejig it to add stuff and yeah.
So it's close range. It's my only medium. Okay, does anyone want this then?
It's how many slots?
5?
Yep.
I couldn't fit it as well.
You could get rid of your green laser and your rigging arm to have a pulse laser instead. Jackhammer.
Quite like the arm to stay though.
Arms are good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could also get rid of a mining rig and. But yeah, the mining rig's cool.
Yeah, I think I'll...
Flower, have you got any space?
No, I don't think so.
Or anything you'd want to trade for the
I'm quite happy with
thingy.
what
Alright,
I'm not
do
sure.
that then. Shove it back with
I've
the
got
mules.
3 module spaces on the character sheet, but
Yeah, the sheet's quite generic, so the sheet is just so you can build pretty much.
I
any
see,
mech on
and it does say 3 module
Blank.
slots in the mech. But
Yeah.
obviously, I've got my arm is one of those slots.
Yeah, so you've got modules and and systems are split, and yeah, it just takes up an amount of slots equal to whatever its slot value is. So if you wanted to, I don't know, put the flame the Atychos rigging arm is 3 slots. If you wanted to swap it for the flamethrower, you could, as they're both 3 slots. Or you could get rid of a combination of stuff.
Nah,
You could get rid of your ejection system and floodlights to put the flamethrower.
Brawler's happy with his. Sorry, McWomble's happy with his brawler. That's,
Yeah, look on. Yeah. Cool.
I'm happy on stuff that fixes.
Oh yeah, speaking of that, he's
The
going
mag-
to soldiers while they're trying to rig stuff up. The soldier's going to ask. They say, "Hey, Tweet, Tweet, you mind doing some minor repairs here?"
Yeah, sure, as long as you don't call me Tweet again.
Alright, twit.
Just get some structure points back. It is just a scratch.
Tis but a scratch. That's why he spent 1 SP. I can restore. If I spend 3 AP, I can restore. Okay. How many AP will I need to be able to fix you fully then?
So it depends on what ability you're using. If you're using your pilot ability, which is the mass field repair, you effectively spend 1 to repair 4. So if you spent 3, you'd be able to do 12. Like you could split.
Well, I took 8 points of damage, so you want to.
Yeah, so you could spend 2 AP to just fully repair the brawl.
Yeah, I'll spend the 2 for you. Are you ready to go?
Fabulous, ready to
You've
go.
been doing.
Cool.
You've been ready to do most of the fighting. So.
Cool. So are we vaguely locked, loaded, and ready to head up to Hope Falls?
That's right.
Cool. I should quickly know, actually, the Magpie has a cool ability that lets you swap stuff out. So if you wanted to, you can do it much more quickly than other mechs. So if you wanted to hold some backup stuff to swap out in combat or whatnot, you could, just as a consideration. But beyond that, you've locked, loaded, you've salvaged this stuff. Mercury, the trader, bids you a thanks and fond farewell, promising to spread the word about your Union crawler at the various trading pit stops down the highway, and that you're good guys and gals who will help a traveller out. And you begin to head down the highway, your mechs crunching over the rubble and dirt and broken down cars and mechs of bygone years up towards the city of Hope Falls itself. Hope Falls is an abandoned city, a crumbling edifice of a world that once was huge, mega block like skyscrapers reach into the horizon, each of them crumbling and broken down. And as you approach, you see a data map that you've got of the area ping up onto your heads-up display to help you navigate the city itself. And hopefully you can all see the map screen, anyone?
Yeah.
Cool. So from the highway, the most direct route is through the Hab district. You can see there's, as you sort of head up the highway towards the city, you can see there's a huge tunnel access point, effectively, that goes deep underground and then up into the city itself, into the Hab district. And we're at city scale now, which means your mechs, each of these points, instead of being an hour like it is on the main map, is just 10 minutes to cross in your mechs. Dun, dun, dun. And so that's your most direct route through the Habs, which is this dense area of skyscrapers and heavily populated, or at least once heavily populated area of a city. There's you can go through the park as well if you circle around the outskirts of the city. This is a far more open area, so if you wanted to, so you'd be much more able to see potential threats, but potential threats would be much more easily able to see you. And you can go through the industrial district of the city around the other side, and this is a dense, sort of smoky, smog filled area that's dense and quite potentially hazardous, but will conceal your way at least more from the park. I should also note you're getting sort of salvage pings, so each of these, so the Atychos is actually sort of broken up in orbit, and bits of it have just sort of spread over the city itself. So each of these areas is also got a salvage ping where a part of the Atychos, something that you can salvage, is located. So yeah, how do you want to approach the city?
The soldier's still very interested in mitigating risk here. Park's a bit too open, and the industrial zone's just a no-go for him.
I reckon the Hab might be the best. I don't think many of us have long range. Might be better to keep threats closer.
Quite short range.
Medium. Agreed. They keep scoring her slowly.
I guess.
Any better ideas then?
What about the industrial zone? We can always go through there.
Take longer to get to the plaza. Have to go by the lake.
True, yes. Have it it'll be then.
Alright then.
Alright.
Unless our engineer has anything to say.
No. Just where would be the best place to get some more scrap if we could?
So it sounds like you want to take the most direct route through the tunnel up into the hab block and go from there.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Can I ping on, since this is a new area, can I ping the...
Oh, yeah. Give me a d20 roll.
Bing.
So no scrap, sadly, but do you want to do an active scan, or are you just keeping it passive going?
I'll do an active scan, because the tunnel's like, you could rig that to blow or something very easily.
Yeah.
It's suspicious.
Indeed. So you do an active metal detector scan of the tunnels. You pick up, so there's a lot of signatures coming back here. There's just piles and piles of scrap here, effectively broken down mechs, old cars, intersped with like rubble, ruin, bits of rebar, and you pick up that this hab areas, this tunnel is effectively blocked by these mounds of scrap, and you'd have to like find some way to effectively dig or force your way through, or obviously take another route. Beyond that, you don't pick up any mech signatures, or unfortunately there doesn't seem to be any mines or anything like that pinging back at you from your metal detector, but you do, there's just huge scrap wreckage in front of you.
So seeing the absolute mountains of scrap, Flea is going to start almost vibrating in his seat with excitement at all the wonder of salvaging he can get done, and then switch a little into business mode, because the sooner they get, I assume the central plaza is where we're going for most of it, or do we just need to gather any scrap?
So there's bits of scrap everywhere, and the plaza is where you think maybe the main body of the
for the reactor, yeah,
is, but bits of scrap have fallen.
Okay, so in the interest of getting to the main body of the scrap, into promised treasures even greater than what he's seeing around him, he's going to power up the heavy-duty mining rig in order to carve through the blockage.
Nice. So you head down into the tunnels. Perhaps one of you activates your floodlights so that you can see in the dark, and you begin to rev up your mining rig and give me a roll. Effectively a salvaging roll, I'm going to say. You've got the right tools for it. So
Glumbo suggests to the engineer that he does the floodlights on the salvage, and I'm going to use my floodlights in order to look out. Keep an eye out. Look out for dangers.
I'm up for that. Yeah, I'll do that.
Meanwhile, I'll RGB in the background.
Just a rave going on, Carmel Dassin playing faintly.
Okay. So, not only do you just tear a pathway through the hab area, but you gain free Tech 1 scrap.
Nice.
As you salvage all the old pieces of junk, finding the prizes and popping them on your mech. And I think actually with the expert salvager it's actually 4, because when you area salvage you gain an extra 1.
Nice.
But it does, if you're salvaging like that, cost you 1 energy point.
That is fine, I have plenty to spare.
Cool. Yeah, you get an extra 1. Yep, so you get 4 Tech 1 scrap, and you carve away through. The floodlights pierce through the darkness. Fortunately, there's no dangers, and you can also see a slope leading out of the tunnels, and non-floodlight sunlight pouring in. It's still probably about midday or so now, as you begin to presumably head out of the tunnels, unless you wanted to linger here for any reason.
No reason to. Soldier takes point again, keeps his floodlights on until they hit sunlight, and starts moving his way through the hab, checking corners as he goes.
Yeah, so you do that. You the floodlights switch off as you get back into the daylight. Blinking into the light, you find yourself in this dense hab block, and you begin to navigate it, checking corners, taking it slow. Fortunately, for better or worse, it is quiet at the moment, and that's when you notice, looking up into the skyline, you can see flaming wreckage. It's on top of one of these skyscrapers, very, very, very high up in the stratosphere, and it's fresh, it's burning, it's definitely it's where your salvage ping is coming from, so it's almost definitely part of the Atychos itself, and it is on top of this skyscraper. What do you want to do?
Alright, Fleek, can you get a read on that? See what kind of salvage we're looking at here.
Sure is salvage. I don't know how we're gonna get up there. Unless one of you can sprout wings.
This hunk of junk is, well, this brick is not going to fly anywhere.
Are we able to tell what it is? Like, is it going to be like tier 3 salvage or something like that?
It'll be part of the Atychos, so it'll be high tech. You'd estimate T3, yeah. You don't know specifically what it is, but you'd know it. It's high tech salvage. It's not.
Do you think we could knock it down?
The whole skyscraper?
No, I'm saying
Not
just
safely.
knock it off the skyscraper.
Would you want to throw a car at it?
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, like throw something big enough to knock the parts off the skyscraper. I mean, my mate's a strong boy. Is he able to throw something like that? Is that a strength that he has?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you've got the articulated arm, right, which lets you like pick stuff up and hurl it. So yeah, you can give it a go. Yeah, and there's lots of scrap bits of there's old broken down mechs, old cars, and heaps of junk and whatnot in this place. So yeah, if you want to give that a go, give me a roll, see how well it goes.
All right, so the brawler picks up a car, sort of spins it a little. As it turns out, it's a Hershey's picked up, and he launches it, and it goes wide. It hits. In fact, it hits the skyscraper next to the one he was aiming at, and goes in. Yeah, and just lodges itself into the building.
Ball.
And a very rotted corpse falls out.
Yeah, so presumably you don't want to push that. Yeah, so you hurl this.
I'm happy to take the
piece
feel
of,
on that.
Yeah, so you hurl this car against the wrong skyscraper, taking a huge chunk out of it, and that's when you notice. Well, you draw some trouble towards you, and you look out sort of from the skyscraper that you hit, and you see a mech. It's a huge flying mech with a whole rack of missiles, and it's sort of Ride of a Valkyrie style, rises up from the skyscraper and looks down upon you, and you hear your comms crackle open, and it says, you hear a woman's voice, and she says, "This is command and." This is ground control, Major Tom. This is
Lance Commander Lopez of the Avantis retrieval team. Salvagers, you're in Avantis-owned. You're messing with Avantis-owned property. I'm going to have to ask you to leave, or I'm going to set you ablaze.
And you see the missiles whirring up. What do you do?
Let's get blazing.
Just the one.
Yeah.
You couldn't see just the one.
I'm going to respond with my Wastelanders report again here. This is a military person. This is a military person as well, so he's going to go.
Major Mike Wumbo reporting. Apologies, we didn't realise we were in Advantage Zone area. That's not on our intel. Please cease fire.
So you hear her voice back, and she says,
Your full tongue might work on some salvagers and wasteland scum out there, but I'm an Avantis merc, born and bred in the narco. I don't care. I don't care much for your winged words. I just want you gone from here. I'm
going to say that ability sadly won't work here, as she's not really a waster. She's effectively a Corpo merc, and she's here on a mission. So,
you know what? I kind of feel like I maybe should have used my net instead of throwing a car at it.
Can I hack it? Can I please just hack it? I want to target the flight systems if I can.
Hack it.
Shout out, we're with the Union.
Do you have dental?
So
can I push that?
so are you doing your reactor overload? Yes. Oh yeah, so it's actually she rolls.
Right.
Yes. You begin to try and tap into her systems, and with your sort of brute force reactor hack. I always imagine hacking in this game is it's effectively like a sort of 80s movie hacking, where it's it's sort of like lots of like CGI.
Clack.
It almost looks like. Yeah, and it looks maybe a bit like Missile Command if you play that game, where there's like hacking shots going over. So you're sort of piercing all these hacking shots on your all in black and white, and you can see an alert coming. It's like, firewall, and bam. Ooh. Yeah, so someone's activated their firewall to try and stop your hack, and they've rolled a nat 20 on it, which is bad because that lets them not only stop the hack but also do something back to you, and they're going to basically reverse it. So if you want to give me a overheat check, they're going to just reverse it back on you.
Okay, what do you want me to roll for that? 20?
Just a d20, yeah. 7. So that's going to be one of your modules gets destroyed by the overheat. You can randomize it.
Systems and modules. Well, I've got the flamer, the 50 cal, the escape.
It would
hatch,
just be a module. So you're in a spectrum.
Well, you didn't just pick up the flamer. You can just...
right. Voice module, the comms module, I suppose.
You're in the spectrum mech, right?
Yeah.
You've got comms module, comms tapper, voice module, and mech scrambler. So if you, I'll just do it randomly. So it's going to be your comms tapper.
I never use that anyway.
Who needs it? So that blows, and unfortunately the hack is stopped, and she realizes it's hostile, and she calls through your comms and says,
"You fucked with the wrong team, Salvagers. You're going down."
And she fires a salvo of missiles at you. Hey, happens to the best of us.
Issues.
Does it hit the skyscraper and pull the
5.
scrap down?
Yeah, that would be quite poetic, actually. Yeah, so it does. They completely miss.
The poor enemy got a crit fail.
They hit the skyscraper, and the scrap, which is as it flies down towards you, the cockpit of the Atychos itself, all wires hanging out of it, and what looks like, as it gets closer and closer, bodies sort of falling from it as it's this sort of smashed cockpit window.
The bodies hit the floor. The bodies hit the floor.
The good news is it's falling down towards you. The bad news is it's falling down towards you. What do you want to do?
Sidestep to the left.
Yeah, you can just sidestep away from it.
Oh, I was already in a position to expect that because I was the one that threw the hearse in the first place.
Yeah. So, that's fine. You sidestep out of the way, and the cockpit crashes down on the ground. The bodies in it go squelch. And you can see that they're just mangled corpses at this point. You can see there's 2 of them on the ground, and you see the cockpit of the Atychos itself is this sort of sleek, quite black construct. As it crashes to the ground, you also notice it's sort of oozing almost. There's like some sort of black liquid, and at first you thought maybe it was the sort of sleek black sort of paint on it, but you realise it's sort of sloughing off as it crashes and just pooling on the ground. Meanwhile, the flying mech, it's known as a drop bear mech, is frantically reloading its missile bay, so is it going to be trouble for now? What do you want to do?
They're from the Australian division.
Shoot her!
Yeah, I think we should net it up. It's another flying one, so if we can net that and bring it down, we should be able to get some advantage on it. What do you think? Yeah? Fire up the net again. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Fire up the net.
18.
Yeah, that's going to be a hit. No firewall stopping that. The the net flies, grabs her, and she comes down.
Crashes to the ground. So it's a skyscraper height as well.
Yep, she's going to take some damage as she falls.
All right, everybody, pile on. Get her.
Fly mech. You're out in Miss Hablock. Yeah, so she's landed down to the ground as your net captures her, but that's when you see the rest of her team, who she's also been like frantically calling through the comms to come and aid her, and they begin to stomp from the plaza where they were located out towards you, and you can see there's it's a full Corpo team. The first thing you see is this dome bubble around them. They've got this huge shield mech basically protecting the core of them, known as a mirable. They've got a gopher mech, which is a sort of Corpo like cargo mech, but it's this one's quite well equipped. And they've also got a brawler, but this one has and this one's armed with a huge sort of like a row, some sort of row weapon by the looks of it, in its two big hands, and they're just stomping towards you. And so they're in like long range. The hussar, the drop bear is in the flying one is in medium range of you. And before this gets too chaotic, why don't we? Did someone want to roll initiative, or just call this to sort of start the combat?
How much damage did she take on the fall?
I'm going to say she took 3 damage on the fall. And she's also vulnerable. Yeah, we'll call it 4. She's vulnerable. 2 damage is kind of the average, but we'll just double it for the fun of it. So she's taken 4 damage, but she's in quite a tough mech. That's a 4, so that means one of them reacts first. And the brawler sort of it takes sort of a combat position. It steps its head out of the side of one of the skyscrapers, almost using it like a person would use a wall as cover, and it shoots this RAL rifle out towards your crew. Do you think anyone in particular is taking point at this stage, or like is anyone asking to be shot?
Not too sure about the positioning, because the brawler was throwing the car up at the building and then fired the net up to catch the flying mech. So I'm guessing that the brawler's probably going to be in mid-range at the moment.
I think maybe Flea got excited about the plaza and was a little bit further towards it than the others.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because the brawler was sort of behind dealing with the skyscraper. Yeah. In that case, I'm going to say the rail rifle shot shoots out towards you, Flea, and it hits 5 points of damage.
Alright.
And then it's going to be back at you, team. What do you want to do?
Well, are they at long range still, or mid range?
So the drop bear is at mid range, and the other 3 mechs are at long range.
Wait, where's the
long range
fucker that
mechs
fell over?
That's the drop bear at mid range.
Ah, drop bear. Alright. I think I'm gonna move over and just slam down the mining rig on top of the vulnerable drop bear.
Cool. Boop.
They hurt Jackhammer. Flea's gonna hurt them back, or try to at least. 16.
Yeah. It's vulnerable because of the net, so it's going to take double damage. It
12.
12 points of damage, leaving it on 10 structure points remaining as you tear through its chassis with your huge mining rig, ripping off huge chunks of the netted mech. Nicely done.
Is that mech also going to be in between me and the others now?
I mean, sort of, but not really. Like it's, in terms of like preventing them from... Oh, cover. Yeah, loosely, yeah. Yeah, I thought you meant more like... So loosely, obviously, to get maps very like abstract, it's quite a large area, so you can walk around things. But in terms of like in the immediate terms, it will be.
Like if one of their attacks maybe has like an AoE, it's going to hurt them as well.
Yes, no, absolutely. Yeah, it would do, yeah. It's funny you raise that, because the Mirable does then fire its missile launchers, not at the Jackhammer though, because it doesn't want to hit its ally. It goes towards the rest of you sort of packed together with the Brawler as its main target. It gets a partial success, so you can give it a tough choice, basically.
I can give it a tough choice.
Yeah. So it is going to hit in some way, but you could say like it hits, maybe like you nullify the AoE effect with a tough choice, so like it just hits you but not your allies, or it hits but I don't know, it has to reload and it can't fire the missiles next turn, or it hits, but you get to grab one of the missiles and throw it back. Like, it's whatever you think would be cool and interesting as a choice.
Yeah, you know what? That'll be cool. It hits the brawler, but the brawler catches one of the missiles and throws it back at it.
Nice. So I'm just going to say that happens. The missile does do a lot of damage because it's a missile launcher.
I have an idea and a question.
Yeah, go for it.
So it's still under so the flying thing's still under the net, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Does it look like if it gets out of the net, it'd still be able to fly?
If it gets out of the net, it will fly. At the moment, it can't move because it's in the net.
Right. What I want to do is move up close to it and use my ability. If I cut this wire, basically, I want it to, if it gets, just in case it gets out of the net, I want it not to be able to fly. Basically, you know, like you see little, the way I'm seeing it in my mind is, you know, it's like a little, you know, like the helicarrier from like Marvel. It's got the little like propellers. I want to be able to like smash the propellers so it can't fly.
Yeah.
It can't disappear.
You'll absolutely be able to do that. Just to resolve missile mayhem first, the missiles would hit you, Soldier Boy, and you take 8 points of damage. The Spectrum and the Magpie would take some AoE damage. You'd both take 2 points of damage from the AoE, but you would grab one of the missiles and throw it back, and I'm going to say that does half damage, so it's going to do 4 damage to the Mirror Ball and 1 point of damage to the Brawler and the Gopher.
Nice.
I'm going to say that's direct damage as well. You managed to throw it in such a way that it gets through the shield at least this turn, though the shield is up and still protecting them for the most part, but this sort of circumvented it as they didn't see it coming. Their shield was just temporarily down as they shot those missiles, and you threw it back and it impacted on them. And then Twitch, you approach the drop bear and you use that ability and you just you stop, you tear out and stop its ability to fly. So even if it gets out of this net, it's not going to be able to fly.
Does that do any damage?
No, but it just works. It's just an ability that works.
That takes me down to AP, doesn't it?
Yeah, and then in return, the Gopher on their team, realizing the jackhammer maybe has still the one of the bigger threats, fires a set of pulse lasers at it, and misses. Yep. These lasers just streak past your jackhammer. A few of them impact onto your heavy chassis, but do not do any damage as they fail to penetrate. And it's back to you, team. Is anyone not active?
Jack Black, can you hack the shield?
I don't have any more EP left, technically.
Are you down on EP? You can use AP if you've got any AP left.
I have 4 AP.
As the hacker, you can use AP.
Ah, right. So you want me to hack the shield?
Yeah, we want to see if we can take down the shield. Is there like a specific hack you've got? Or is it just the reactor hack you've got?
It'd be the reactor.
Is the shield like a module?
You've got...
Well, actually, can I not ask some questions about it? Because that's one of my abilities.
You could ask some questions about it to find more about shields. You've also, in more simple terms, you've got a thing called System and Software Hacker, which just lets you pick one of their things and disable it. Which would be the simpler solution here, but it's up to you.
Okay, yeah, let's go for the system software and just turn off the shield if I can. So, what, do we do
you roll a d20 for this.
19.
That's going to work. So you tap in.
System or module is damaged.
Yeah, and their shield is deactivated. Nicely done. So you hack into the shield and you stop it. No firewall, fortunately, stops you this round as it's recharging for now. The shield bubbled is a sort of like whoop kind of sound as the shield collapses, and they're now raw and vulnerable. And I think everyone's acted now, so if someone wants to roll for the top of the round.
I'll roll.
So you pick one of them. So which one of them do you want to act next?
It's going to have to be the one that's netted, because they're going to have to try and escape.
Yeah. They can't really go anywhere, they can't fly.
Yeah, and they can't fly, so...
They're still dead.
Yeah, but what happens with the nanofiber net, It can't move. It gains a vulnerable trait, and it may attempt to escape the net when it's turn, but it has to have some means to do so. So it can't actually do anything to us unless it escapes this net.
Yeah, so are you going to pick the drop bear?
I think that would make more sense.
Pick the...
Might as well.
Yeah.
Cool. So the drop bear is cornered. It's trapped under this net, and you're bearing down upon it. You've also disabled its ability to really get away. It does have a couple of underslung machine guns as its sort of last resort weapons, and it's basically just going to spray and pray with these. And it does quite well. One's going to hit the jackhammer with a nat 20, which is going to do 4 points of damage to the jackhammer, and then the second one is going to hit the magpie and deal 2 points of damage. This is a last stand. It's just like got its it's trapped, but it's got its machine guns, and it's just like spraying them over this entire area. She's like holding the cockpit the joystick as hard as she can, and is just shuddering as she's just going crazy. There's the magazines are just shooting out casings and casings and casings of rounds as she's just tearing through you both. And then it's going to be back at you, a bit more damaged, and but still hopefully all in the fight. What do you want to do?
I have one more hack available.
Well, I'd quite like to, while the shield is down, I'd like to get the brawler inside the shield range, so that if the shield goes back up, it can still do some damage.
Can it go back up?
Unless they repair it, no. And they don't look like they have any repair mechs. So.
It might be good to finish off the drop bear.
Alright, well, I mean, if the shield can't go up, then forget about that.
Yeah, it's been like destroyed basically by that ability.
Yeah, fire away if there's anything else you want to do.
Can't get it up anymore. My thoughts were to maybe hack the brawler or the gopher and try and shut down its weapons.
Sorry, mate, you cut out the ad for a bit.
Yeah.
As I say, my idea would be to go for the brawler or the gopher and go for the weapons.
It does not like the weapons? Did you mean?
Hmm?
What was the last word there?
So, go for the gopher or the brawler and shut down
Aye.
the weapons.
Your mic hates you on a personal level, my man.
Yeah, it's the same word every time.
It doesn't surprise me. Is that allowed?
Yeah. Sorry. So what's the plan again? Sorry.
He wants to shut down one of their weapons.
Shut down one of the weapons. Yeah, you can do that. So there's the brawler shooting with a RAL rifle, the gopher shooting with this the red pulse laser.
Which one do you reckon does more damage, guys?
The red laser
Yeah.
does 5 if it's the same one we've got.
They both do 5 damage, but the red laser's close range, whereas the brawler has the long range variant.
Brawler. Yeah. So D20 and... Oh, can I push that?
Oh, for God's sake.
Shit.
So yeah, unfortunately you do have to take the second result. You've also gained 2 heat if you want to give me a heat check.
Okay. And that is another D20. 3. So
You're
I'm
okay,
cursed.
and was that using your software, the system and software hacker ability?
Yes.
Cool, so that's nat 1. Target cannot be targeted with any ability with a hacking trait for 10 minutes. So yeah.
Can't do anything anyway, so that's...
It's a bit moot, but yeah, unfortunately it does not work. The RAL rifle's clearly... the firewall's clearly still up a bit, perhaps, and you're just not able to brute force and get access as you're rebounded from the server. This game apparently upsets system admins. They're like, it doesn't work like that. I'm like, anyway, so back to that. Back to them. I feel with the shield down, the brawler's not as worried about staying under it, so it actually gets within close to aid the drop bear, and you hear a voice crackle over the comms, and it says,
This is Sergeant Baines of the Lance Leader of the Advantage Retrieval Team. You picked the wrong group to fuck with, Salvages.
and then he blasts out his RAL into the jackhammer.
You know, your boss said your friend here said the exact same thing, and she ain't doing so hot.
As you reply, the rail rifle pierces through your jackhammer. You take 7 points of damage as it's in close range
Oof.
now.
Yeah, that's hurting.
Ouch.
Still standing though.
And I'm still standing. And back at you, team. What do you want to do?
Alright, well I've got...
I think I'm gonna finish off the drop bear if I can, if it's allowed.
I think, if you don't mind, Jay, I think I can help you out here with that one that's attacking you. I've got a provoke ability, so I can provoke any target in range to focus their attention on me. So I can provoke that brawler that's attacking you.
That's good, because if I take another hit like that, it's not looking good.
Yeah, so that's what I think. If you don't mind me going just now, I'll provoke it. I'll get in close range.
Sure.
I'll use my close range attack on it, do some damage, and then you can go next turn.
Absolutely. Sure.
Sounds good.
You're forgetting the obvious here. If the gopher hasn't already gone as well, then it can just shoot her anyway.
Well, at least that takes one of them away from her.
Yeah. Also, the jackhammer's a little trick up his sleeve when he does get down to 0.
Provoke. So the provoke is so that technically a turn action, but you'll be able to get in, and the brawler will turn its attention to you, and it won't turn that attention away.
So I can't attack as well.
No, it's a.
All right, so I just walk up and I slap it.
Yeah. And it turns to you, and it's like, and he's like, so you want to go hard, like in the gladiator pits? Well, I was born in those.
We go hard. We go power. We go hungry. We go power.
Meanwhile, the jackhammer's finishing off the drop bear.
And then that's technically your action, so it's going to bounce back to Ven. You're in close, all in the middle here, so this mirror ball is actually going to step back a bit, and as it does so, fire its missiles out at the spectrum. That's the sort of last target, but I think not in the sort of maelstrom in the middle. And it does hit, dealing 8 points of damage to you.
Oh, I am not looking good.
Hey, Flower, do you have like a mass heal thing?
Yeah, you've all got to get a bit close.
Fuck, where are you? You're right up on two of us.
Yeah, because I was taking out his comms. It's taking out his crap.
So the mass field repair is a long action, so it technically takes an hour, so you can't.
Oh, hell.
You can't do it in combat, but you can use your fabrication arm. Can heal one target, I think, like 5 SP as an action.
Who looks most?
Please.
Yeah.
I have
Oh
4.
shit. Okay, yeah, maybe you go help him. But
The Xbox is red ringing. The Xbox is red ringing.
I think because, like, was it 4 that heals or 5?
The fabrication arm heals.
All the weapons deal either 5
It's
or
6.
more.
My bad.
6? Never mind. That is kind of worth it, because the only thing that deals more than that is the whatever the brawler was doing to the jackhammer a second ago.
So who's going? Is it Jay?
Yeah,
or
you
is
know
it...
what? Flower, can you heal? Can you heal?
I'll heal.
Matt.
I'll heal Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much do you need? Oh, you gotta be 6 then.
As much as you
I
can
think I
give
need to be
me.
6. I don't know. I'll do. How many SP do we use for this?
So it's 2 EP to heal 6 SP.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'm happy to do it.
Cool. So you're on your turn. You heal up. Who are you healing up? The spectrum.
Yeah, Spectrum.
Cool. And then the gopher charges in, seeing the 2 brawlers in their duel. I think it is going to go for the jackhammer, I'm afraid. But
Yeah.
it fortunately misses, so the pulse laser just sort of skims over you. A few blasts hit your reinforced chassis, but do not do any damage as the gopher gets in this maelstrom as well. And then back to you, team.
Alright, I think I'm going to finish off the drop bear if that's allowed.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah,
One hit will
'cause
kill it.
fuck this bullshit. 12?
Yeah, describe destroying it.
Alright, so the jackhammer is shakily dodging each blow coming towards it and takes the time to turn one of those dodges into a full body swing down with the giant wheel attached to its front and crush the drop bear out of existence.
So yeah, the drop bear is entirely crushed, leaving only 3 of the Ivantis Corpo team remaining, and then it's going to be new round, I think.
Thank you very much for listening to part 2 of Salvage Union. Join us again for part 3 coming up soon.